You're on.
Okay, meeting is called to order at, what time is it?
8:33.
8:30. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Oh, Earl,
Okay, I'll out here.
Dave,
Yes, you hear?
Linda. Here. Mayor,
Here.
Adam.
Here.
Just Deanna, is it?
Yes, and Jack.
Next item on the agenda, approval of the 9/14/22 Audit, Finance and Governance Committee and Special Meeting Minutes.
I do believe all the minutes were provided previously in the meeting packet, so.
I'll make a motion.
Second for that? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. August and September financials.
You'll see there's not a lot of activity really going on.
Are you being facetious?
No.
Okay, oh, good. Oh, shoot.
Nope. No, it's really just us processing the bills that were approved at the previous meeting based on the engineering and then mowing.
I'll make a motion.
Second for that?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion is carried. New business.
I don't have any at this time unless anyone else does.
I was just curious, do we know what the timeframe is for finishing up the trail down on 12th, you know, the entrance and back?
Yeah.
So is it not till spring to do the
Archway.
Someone just asked me, so I just said, I think it's springtime, but I'll verify.
It's marked out. Yeah, I can get into that during the
Old business?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, early we want to just go into old business and I'll update about,
Okay,
okay.
no new business except for
Okay.
what was mentioned, old business.
Okay,
Carrie,
thank you. So if you go to the site right now, you'll see where the city personnel have gone and marked out where the archway will be.
Mhm.
The stack stone has been ordered, I believe it's 10 weeks out now, because it was ordered a couple of weeks ago. So ultimately, city personnel will be installing the archway. We have it, it's being stored. We paid billings, if you remember from advocating.
Right.
So ultimately, they'll install, they may have to wait to do the stack stone with weather permitting. So it may end up being honestly springtime before those
Okay.
punch list items are done.
So.
Let's do it this weekend.
Yeah, it's supposed to be beautiful.
Yeah.
Tropical Olean, New York. Come on, let's go.
So I guess my question is,
Yes.
you know, after last night's meeting with the council about our fleet management and everything being back ordered. So as far as the entrance goes, we have the material, it's just basically waiting on the weather.
We have the archway, we need the stack stone,
Okay, so we don't have that,
correct?
okay.
Yep, we are lacking that item. I mean, they could do the footers and put it in, but I think they need some of the casting too. It depends on how they're gonna install it. I don't know
Okay,
if they're gonna do footers and rebar, or if they're gonna do it with the cast, and it's however they decided to install it.
okay.
But I know we are at least lacking one important item.
So as you look at the walkway, the bushes and things on the right-hand side, does that belong to Country Fair?
Yes,
Okay, because I've noticed, I've gone over a couple times just to check it out, and it's kind of overgrown on
Yes.
the sidewalk.
It's
So
all
maybe-
theirs.
Yeah, maybe we need to mention to them that it'd be nice if they cut that back, because we're gonna have this beautiful entrance, and then there's gonna be bushes and weeds covering the sidewalk, because
Yes.
that's where it is right now.
yes.
Okay, I was just curious.
Yep.
And someone had asked.
Just because you have codes on the water.
It's
Well-
a public right of way. It would have to be public works.
Yeah,
I
it's just,
believe. I
they
don't
just
know.
need to cut and trim things back, and I don't think it's a priority, so. But it would look nice.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I can relay that.
are we all done there?
For that piece, yes.
So the
Yeah.
next item is our vacant property parcel number 94.055-1-37.2, Allegheny River Trail Connector Project.
Yes.
Wow.
So, I received the invoice from Whitford that's in your packet. And, you'll see the total that they're requesting is 91,387.48. And then also in your packet, you'll find, the letter from our engineering, consultant, E&M, specifically from our project engineer. Mr. Reitz has reviewed the invoice and the proposed change orders, and he recommends payment with the exception of the removal of the additional trees. So that it would be less $8,939.46. And he explains the reasoning. The removal of the additional trees was absolutely put into the bid deck. It was put into the project plan, the scope. So, and it says removal of all trees on site. So if you recall from our site plan, there was one tree identified to not remove, and that ultimately ended up being a dead tree. So there is a change order for the
It was
removal.
dead?
Yeah, it was dead.
Yeah,
Because when
that
we
was-
went out there, it was, when was that? February? We couldn't tell then when the plans were drawn up. So, that's why he's recommending the removal of the dead ash tree. That change order is absolutely, it occurred and it had to occur. Otherwise, we were gonna keep a dead tree along 12th Street. And, as you may recall, there are additional dead trees along 12th Street. That is not the agency's, it's the neighboring property owner. So, I believe that's being dealt with on a separate, case and basis with the city.
Right, and they're on the property owners, they're not the sublet, right? The ones on 12th are the property owners.
Yeah, yes, I do believe.
Carrie, just for review. So we, in the May meeting, we looked at a $69,000 estimated cost from Whitford. We were thinking about removing the arborvitae's for a total of $58.40 to get that cost down. So if we did do that, so call it $64,000. So this is about a $27,000 increase from what we talked about in May. Is that correct? That okay. And that was just based on materials and extra. Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And what is your opinion? And I think we talked about this a little bit in email, but I'm just trying to refresh my memory. I don't remember where we ended on it. What's your thought on that?
So ultimately, I do agree with E&M to pay the obviously the contract amount, and then the extra survey, the removal of the dead ash tree, and the additional fill. I agree with not paying for the removal of the additional trees. And also, if you may recall, they kept delaying the project start date. So because of that, they went past the date when the project was supposed to be completed. So in the contract and documentation, we had a liquidated damages section for $100 per day. So they went over by 5 days. So I would also recommend subtracting that and paying Whitford a total of $82,448.02.
I would agree. I don't think we should be shy about exercising the liquidated damages clause, since they weren't shy about adding $20-some thousand onto the bill.
Yeah.
All business. I understand why they did it. We have contract language for a reason, right? So
Yep.
I would agree with what you said there, Carrie.
Okay, and then one thing I'd also like to note, as you may recall from a previous meeting, Mr. Callahan is still seeking that permanent easement for the driveway. And he agreed to pay for that extra survey work. So ultimately, the agency would get reimbursed for that from him once that transaction would take place. And he also agreed to pay for half of the fill, that
Great.
additional fill. So that would be approximately $5,784.28 that he would be reimbursing the agency at that time.
Great.
So it would ultimately take the agency's responsibility down to $76,663.74.
Which is right in the, yeah, that's further right in the ballpark of where we talked about in May. That makes me feel better than 64 to 91 was, that's why I asked. Okay, that's great. And I think they're doing great work over there. I think, like you, Linda, I went over and just kind of checked it out. I think it looks great over there.
It's just so much more accessible and you don't feel like you're intruding in the parking lot at Country Fair. And I'm sure they're gonna appreciate it also. But, people already scoop back through there. And this just makes it more, like I said, accessible. And I think it's safer. And it just adds to our trail system. It really improves it. So I agree with you all.
Yeah, it's great. Great job.
So are you looking for a motion to move your recommendation?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move
I'll
Julie's
second.
recommendation.
Second.
Hi.
Aye.
Uh,
I was waiting for the Germans.
And I mean, that's all I have on that item. And so I'll work with Ryan and Whitford and our bookkeeper on the payment and really the explanation thereof, why we are choosing not to participate in paying the one change order.
And just for clarification, we're paying the entire bill and then we will get reimbursed by Mr. Callahan when that goes through.
Yes.
Okay.
Are you comfortable with that?
I am.
Okay.
Is there a time frame to that? Does he have like 60 days, 6 months?
Well, actually, so we were waiting on the legal description from Canada surveyor, I don't remember, Mariotti surveying. And so she provided that to us. So Jack has both legal descriptions now. And so Tiffany is helping to work with that, drawing up that document. And that was really the last piece that we needed, along with, we needed the bill from Whitford so that we knew, what to seek reimbursement from Mr. Callahan. So now we can move into next steps for that, so it should be forthcoming.
Is that it?
Yes,
Constitution Avenue property?
so I've been working with Jack and Tiffany is going to be working with him as well on this. He has requested the updated abstract of title. He's working on that. Otherwise, we have everything that we need, including the survey, the legal description, and the buyer info was provided to Jack so he can work on that sale. So once we have that abstract, he can move forward. But if you recall, we do have at least the executed purchase agreement. And that's all I have on that.
Any bills?
Yes, we have mowing to the city of Olean for the trail and Constitution Ave parcels in the amount of $166.67. And then the final bill, we will be paid in full with E&M engineers and surveyors in the amount of $750. And then obviously LC Whitford in an amount not to exceed $82,448.02.
Do you need a motion to pay those, Carrie?
Thank you.
I would love to make one.
I'll second.
That's a deal on that mowing. We'll take that every day.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
That's it for bills?
That's it.
Okay. Executive session?
I don't have a need for one.
So that's a no? Is that it for everything then?
That is it.
Okay,
Okay, next meeting.
next meeting, please. Date?
Well, is Carrie even gonna be here?
No.
She
No,
better
I'm
not
not.
be here.
No, that would be absolutely wild if I was. I don't know. I guess it's up to you all to make a decision. And one thing I can say is, you know, I've worked with the mayor and Tiffany and Kathy. So I do believe if a meeting is necessary, they will call it. And they will, you know, do the meeting packets between Tiffany and Kathy and create the agenda if one really is necessary, if something comes up. I know, I mean, we have to reimburse the city for ordering the stacked stone and then any materials relating to the archway. I do believe they can hold that for us until my return in January, so.
Sounds more than reasonable.
I agree. That's consistent with what we talked about last time. And now that the trail project is in motion, you've got everything settled there. I mean, if you don't have to meet while you're gone, that makes sense. I'll give some breaking news since Bob is on. It is now snowing in downtown Olean, right as we speak. Big flakes too, big flakes. So, and then I think it comes back to that larger strategic discussion about direction beyond these projects. What is the URA look to do after these projects?
So should we set January the 18th, right, the third Wednesday, as our next meeting, 2023?
Yeah.
Will we
I think that's good.
schedule it?
I think that's good.
And then if we need to have one in between, we can do that,
Yeah, I like that.
okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Bring Dylan up, Tim Hortons is not too busy.
Well, that's all I have. Adam, thank you for your time.
Of course, yeah.
Good to
Thank
see
you
you.
guys. Thanks, everybody. Great work.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Bob. See you.
Have a good one.
Oh, I didn't even notice, Bob.
Oh, we need a motion to adjourn.
Oh, I'll make a motion.
Second.